Hi, boys and girls. We are going to do a fun drum craft for our activity today. So you're going to need your 2 paper plates with the holes in the sides. You're going to need this tube. You're going to need 2 beads, 2 strings, tape, and a stapler, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do, now if you want to decorate your plates, this is going to be the outside of your drum. So if you want to decorate this part of both of your plates, go ahead and do that now and pause the video and come back once you're done decorating your plates, because we won't really be able to do it once we're done, okay? All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our plates like front to front, you know, like the part that you would eat on the insides. And what we're going to do is we want to line up our holes on either side. So you'll want to line up your holes so you can see right through it, okay? So you want to be able to see right through it. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get out our stapler and we're going to staple it a couple of times towards the top so that these plates stay together. All right. You might need help from your parents. See how I did that? Just make sure as you're going that your holes are still lined up, because we'll need those to be lined up. All right. I'm going to do one right here next to my hole. And then one over here next to this hole. So you should be able to see through my holes. All right, the next thing we're going to do, so probably do 3 staples on the top part above the circles, and then go ahead and grab your tube and just press down on the top a little bit so it kind of looks like its mouth is closing, okay? So kind of fold that little part over. All right, and then what you're going to do towards the bottom, you're going to just open it up a little bit and put your tube right there, okay? And just make sure it's centered. All right, and then if you want to staple that or tape that down first, I'm going to see if I can staple it. There's one part. And there's the other. So whoopsies, well that didn't work. It popped right out. That was pretty silly. All right, let's try that again. All right, so I'm gonna try and staple this again, this time actually through the cardboard. And this time it's gonna work. All right, that time I think it worked better. All right, so I think it's not going anywhere this time. Okay, so what we're going to do then next is we're going to just tape around this bottom part, because we don't want to poke our fingers on these staplers, okay? So if you want to get out, you can use pretty tape. I'm just going to use packing tape. If you have any like duct tape that is maybe colored, or electrical tape that has a color that maybe you want to use instead of clear tape, go ahead and use that. I'm just going to use this packing tape here just so that we don't hurt ourselves on that staple. And that way we know it's not going to pop out like it did for me. And I think I'm going to put tape on both sides since I had to staple it twice. All right, so far your drum should look like mine. Not very pretty yet, right? All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our string and 1 bead, and what we're going to do is we're going to string the bead onto the string, and then we're going to tie the string around the wooden bead so that the bead doesn't go anywhere. So you might need help because this is pretty advanced fine motor skills. So if mom and dad are around, or grandma or grandpa, they probably could help you with this. So we'll want to tie it nice and tight on the bead, but we'll want to knot it on there so the bead doesn't go anywhere. Okay, nice and tight. And we're going to do that on the other string too. So you'll need your other string and your other bead, and we're going to go ahead and string that through. All right, same thing. We're going to tie it onto that bead nice and tight, and we're going to double knot it so that bead doesn't go anywhere. All right, nice and tight there. So you should have 2 beads that kind of look like this. And if you want to check to make sure they're not going to fall off, go ahead and do a couple of shakes so that those beads don't go anywhere. All right, so our last step here is to put our string through that hole that I told you about to keep lined up. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie that. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that that string and the bead are going to hit about right in the middle of our drum here. So you might need to pull it through. And then once we have it to the point where that bead lands right in the middle, we can go ahead and tie it. So we're going to tie it again, nice and tight, double knot it. All right, so you should have one side that looks like this where the bead's right in the middle and your knot is tied really tight. And then what you can do is you can cut off this excess that we don't need. Since we don't need that, okay? So there's one side's already done. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna put our string through the hole, measure it so it falls about halfway down our drum, and then go ahead and double knot it so it doesn't go anywhere. And then we can just trim that excess that we don't need. And there's our drum. See how I did that? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how the drum works, okay? So you're going to put your hands together like this, if you were pretending to be a fish, and we're going to roll our drum so we can make that beading sound. And that's the beads hitting the center of our paper plate. See how we did that? You did so great today, boys and girls. I'm so proud of you. I hope you enjoy playing with your drum. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, okay? Bye.